deputy. He's a pastor and the current president of the Murray County NAACP.
Never had any type of warning, write-ups, no disciplinary problems. He's a good officer.
For the last year, the 27-year-old has been a Murray County deputy, a school resource officer, working here at E.A. Cox Middle School. He's now represented by attorney Doak Patton.
Did he enjoy his job as an SRO working with kids?
He loves the kids.
According to sources, on November 30th, a fight erupts inside the school between two middle school students.
He's been fired, and
Yes.
my sources tell me that there was an incident. It involved an 11-year-old, maybe a scuffle near the gym. He interjected himself into the situation because he's the SRO, but then something was captured on video, and those investigating say that whatever was captured might have been excessive. Maybe your thoughts?
I think when you look at what officers go through, a lot of times video can be misleading, and we just want an opportunity to present our case in court. We want an opportunity to show all the facts.
Doak Patton tells me that he's yet to see the video, but he tells me that his client will be vindicated.
I've been told he was a good officer, but I've also been told that perhaps he just acted excessively and they just had to let him go.
I don't think so. I think he was a good officer. He was put in a very bad situation. He reacted the best he could under those circumstances to protect all the parties concerned, including the student that he had to take down.
News 2 reached out to Sheriff Bucky Rowland, who respectfully declined comment. He says it's an active investigation that's now been turned over to the district attorney. DA Brent Cooper has seen the video, and he released a statement that says in part, "Anytime a child is harmed, it's a serious matter. When the harm is allegedly committed by someone upon whom the safety of the child relies, it becomes much more troubling."
We believe once all the evidence comes out, all the witnesses come forward, there's a different story than the sheriff was told.
Okay, so I just seen this video, and I'm going to bring this to, let me cancel this out. Okay, so I just seen this video, and I brought it to my attention. Now, me and Dante, you know, we live in the same town, we live in the same state. We grew up together since we were knee high. He's a very, very great guy. You know, is a well role model for, you know, the schools throughout the years, from elementary, middle school, and even high school, especially throughout, you know, high school over in Central. And the reason why this video that I just seen, that a lot of us just now seen, is disturbing. And he's an SO officer. Great guy. Like I said, I grew up with him together. You know, I can vouch for that. A lot of us here in this town knows that Dante's a great person. His heart's in the right place. Also, going into this as well, he's also a great pastor. You know, he does preach. Now, I don't know how well I can give a good speech to give justice of just how great a guy he is. And this is bullshit why they're firing him. This is because now I'm finna go into something totally different. Throughout my years, and I'm 28 years old. 28 years old. Throughout my years, from what I've seen in middle school and high school, right? Fights that have occurred, even going in elementary school as well. What about all the other SOO officers that have broke up fights, especially when it came to detaining the incident at hand and the people, you know, involved? Because there are times, if not all the time, that I'm pretty sure those that see this video, give me a minute. Those that see this video, I'm pretty sure, you know, we all seen, you know, the people that are involved in the fight and how they fight, still fight, even fighting with the you know, the SRO officers. Let me go ahead and scoot this back. You know, we all seen that within school, with them fight with also SO officers, and a lot of the force with them having to maintain whoever's involved. You know, we all seen it. Sometimes they may have to drop them, put them down, spray them with mace, right? Or what about the correctional control officers, the security guards that control within the juvenile halls, the juvenile detention centers? Because they have to use force too. So don't you think the same rules will have to apply? Because throughout so many of the years that this has been going on, they just now want to try to do something about it. This is bull. And again, all of us, we all seen force be taken in school with the SO officers that's known for breaking up a fight. None of them have made it on the news. None of them lost their job. So why now? Why now? Don't you think the same consequences will pertain to them? I mean, hell, there's so much you got the cameras rolling, hallway, lunchroom, gym, maybe not in the classroom, so you're gonna have to take statements. But those, you know, we all seen it. We all seen other SO officers in school take force. Just like they're describing with him. So why fire him? Because he's a great guy. Because he's not dirty like the rest. And I know some pretty dirty fucking officers. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say the name of the elementary school or the name of the SO officer, but he had a program in one of the elementary schools. Rather than helping the situation, he escalated the situation. You know, he was somebody that aggravated it on. So rather than help these kids try to get along with each other, and the people that I knew, they grew up even more hating each other because he's put on boxing gloves for them, took them in the back room, and had them fight each other. Is that not a sign of a taint of abusing, I guess, your power as law enforcement? Is that not a power of, or a symbol of being dirty? So why fire him? Why did they not fire him? Again, I'm not going to say the name of this SO officer because he still has his job. But he's crooked, and he knows some. He's dirty too. He knows some people that should be locked up, who he's friends with, won't do nothing about it. You know, when this town, you know, has history, this is where the KKK started at. So why fire Dante? Because he's a good guy. That's why they fired him, because he ain't like the rest. And like I said before, you know, we all seen the SO officers handled, you know, breaking up fights when it comes to maintaining some kind of physical force. I seen some, just like we all have, or look, they're going to have to detain that child, they're going to have to slam that child on the ground per se. And yet they still work there. Just like the stuff in goes on the juvenile detention centers. They using force too. Right? Why not fire them? Simple, because they ain't clean. You know, the law does like to keep the dirtiest people and likes to get rid of the good people. Real talk. There was a sheriff that was running for mayor. You know, he was a good guy. He wanted to do some great things for the youth in this town, but you know what? All of a sudden he just disappeared. And I have my theories on that. And there's something like this. This is wrong. He's a great guy, and there's a lot of us that are defending him. I'm defending him. Like I said, we grew up together. He's a great guy. You know, he wanted some people around me because there were some people that just didn't like me throughout high school, and he didn't want nothing to happen to me. But he knows I'm able to take care of myself. But you know what? He was looking out for my best interest because he wanted me to walk and graduate. That's how great of a guy he is. And again, what about all the other SO officers that maintained so-called aggressive force when breaking up a fight? It's because on those other parties, they're fighting the SO officers back. You have to defend yourself. But again, what about those ones that done the same thing? They ain't lose their job. Again, they fired Dante because he's a good guy, because he ain't like the rest. I know you guys see me a lot dragging this is because this only lets me record for 5 minutes. It's a downloaded screen capture video thing. But anyways, cause he ain't like the rest who are dirty. One thing about law enforcement and justice, yes, it is crooked. Yes, it is dirty. And I've seen some things, when I was locked up several times. Now, not all, SO officers, not all correctional control officers are going to be bad. I know some good ones that, I did talk to those that did look out for me contained in my case. Great people. But here's the question. And again, I know this seems like I'm all over the place because I just seen this video and it upsets me, so my thoughts right now are getting all over the place, and I apologize for that. Growing up in school, all of us, how many times have we seen a SO officer maintain the force necessary to stop a fight, and them, again, not getting fired, not making the news like this, like we see right here. I can't even talk straight. This makes me upset. How many times, again, have we seen fights in school like this with them maintaining the force needed to break up a fight? Notice, like I'm serious, like again, my thoughts ain't in order. How many times have we seen fights, okay, in school, how they're just describing from what we just seen? How many times have we seen that? And the same SO officers not losing their job, in other words, getting fired, them still working at the same school, them not making the news or media news or whatever, newspaper as that. And how many times have we seen them have a partner involved? We've seen it quite a few times, haven't we? Yeah, we have. Again, there's time, we all seen it. When we see fights, them breaking it up and them using the force that they have to use because those people that are involved in the fight are fighting the officers. So, the officers ain't gonna really sit there and take it. They do have to defend themselves in some way for them to get it under control. And sometimes it's going to take them having to slam somebody on the ground, just like they do in juvenile detention center. But how many of them get fired? None of them. Going in, there was an SOS officer in a certain elementary school I went to. I'm not going to say the person's name or the person's school. I'm not even going to say the name of the program, but the people I knew who were in that program, they don't get along with each other till this day because of this SO officer who was dirty. Escalated, dragging on the situation, and having these people fight it out in a back room made the situation worse. And one thing about the law system, it does like to keep its dirty people. But if you're a nice, clean guy, they'll get rid of you. And this has been going on throughout years, decades. So you mean to tell me you're going to fire my friend who's a good guy because he's not like the rest? When I mean not like the rest, not like the dirty ones. You're firing him because the proper, he's using the training that he had, using the maintaining force that he had. Because I guarantee you, whatever child he was holding back, breaking up the fight, was fighting him back. And because Dante has a good reputation in this town, that's why you guys fired him. And that's what I believe. He's not like the rest. In other words, what I mean by that, again, he ain't dirty. He's a straight guy. But again, how many times have we all seen the SO officers in schools use force to stop a fight because, yeah, it's in their training, and yes, they have to. But how many times have we still seen them still work at the same school, them not losing their job, them not making the news from it? Especially those that did time in, again, juvenile detention centers. You don't see them losing their job. And a lot of them, again, are dirty. But Dante's, he's a good dude, man. And that's why they fired him, because he ain't like the rest. And seeing this right here makes me upset. I'm out.